In November 2020, YouTuber Dr. Hannah Straight was camped alone deep in the backcountry.
I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. I'm not going to disclose where because I don't want a million people coming out here trying to figure out what I possibly saw.
Miles from the nearest town, the nearest person, the nearest anything. She was asleep in her camper van when something woke her.
I was sleeping, dead asleep last night above my cab. All of a sudden, I heard something rummaging through my cab. I was trying to be super quiet, super still. I didn't want to move because I didn't know what was in the back of my truck.
Something had crept up to her van, yanked the door open, and torn through her campsite.
And I swear there was like this huge thing standing there going through my stuff. I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. There's no way it's a person. I'm miles from civilization. I always lock my doors at night. I must have forgotten. He must have heard me, or whatever it was heard me, because it dropped everything and scampered off into the woods behind me. Like ran. It was on two legs, so it definitely wasn't a bear, because last time I checked, I've seen a lot of bears, and bears run on four legs.
Food bins scattered across the ground. Supplies everywhere.
So I got out in the middle of the night. I don't usually do that because it is creepy as heck when you're out here in the middle of nowhere in the dark. Door was open and this bin was on the ground. The lid was off. There's food all over the ground. And I was like, oh my gosh, is this really happening? Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do right now. I just stuck around today because I want to try to figure out what's going on.
Then it heard her move and ran. Hannah stepped outside into the dark to survey the damage.
I just kept my top popped down because if anything happens, I want to be able to bolt out of here with no problems. It's getting dark and I want to try to see if I can get something on camera, like what this potentially might be.
The door was wide open. The camp was trashed. And whatever did it, she said, ran away on two legs.
Like ran. It was on two legs, so it definitely wasn't a bear, because last time I checked, I've seen a lot of bears, and bears run on four legs.
She couldn't bring herself to leave without knowing what was out there. So she made a plan.
This is a switch I'm gonna use if I see whatever it was lurking in the woods. I'm gonna flip the lights on, turn the camera on, and hopefully I can get it on camera.
She had bright lights rigged and ready. Night vision cameras rolling too. The second night, they captured it. A large creature crashing wildly through the tree line. Fast, erratic, and close.
Well, it's been about 3 hours and I haven't seen or heard anything, but I'm gonna keep waiting. Still waiting around, haven't seen or heard anything. It's getting kinda late. Did you see that thing? I wonder if the outside camera got it.
Hannah had seen enough. She packed up in the dark and drove out, not waiting for morning, not taking any chances. Whatever was moving through those woods didn't want company, and neither did she.
I don't know what that thing was, but that was insane. I've never seen anything like that creature before. It's just ripping through the woods. It is terrifying, and I need to get out of here right now. I gotta go. This is insane. I gotta shut this off.
In February 2024, British YouTuber Sean, from the channel Love Sundays, parked up on a quiet countryside road for a solo overnight trip.
Welcome to the woods. I mean, I am parked on the side of a road. I have parked across from a bit of a clearing.
He spent the afternoon exploring the woods behind a nearby fence.
This is the end of the track, so it looks like I'm gonna have to go off-road. Seems to be a lot of trees down around here, and it's definitely not from the storms, because there's like tree stumps everywhere.
Came back to cook dinner.
I just couldn't wait any longer. There's lots of meat, which is a good thing. Okay, so if I'm honest, the tin stuff tastes better. I try to be upmarket, but I just need to not fix what ain't broken.
And was in bed by nightfall. A perfectly ordinary van camping night.
Ugh, cozy. All being well, I'll see you in the morning. Good night.
Until 3 a.m., Sean woke to the sound of a car pulling up outside.
A car's just pulled up, and it sounds like they're walking around the van. So, I was just woken up because I heard a car pull up, and it was at the front of the van. So I got up, turned my phone on, and filmed.
Then footsteps, slow and deliberate, circling his van. He reached over and pulled back the curtain. The moment he did, the footsteps stopped. The strangers got back in their car. Sean opened his door and looked out into the dark. The car simply drove away.
I don't even know, what they just think that there's just some random van parked here that they might be able to break into, or I don't know, but it's a little bit freaky. It makes me kind of I'm not moving, but I don't want somebody breaking in thinking there's no one in here, because that would be a right pain.
He put it down to a curious local, went back to sleep, and thought nothing more of it. The next morning, Sean couldn't get out. He pushed his camera out the window to see what was going on.
And see how miserable the weather is. My door's stuck. What the actual...
And there it was. Zip ties, looped tightly around his exterior door handles, locking him inside his own van.
See that? I don't even think I can shut the door on it. So when I said I got left alone last night, it doesn't look like I did get left alone, does it? I didn't even hear anyone out on the side door. Right, I've got to work out how to do this.
While he slept, those strangers had bound him in. Whether it was a local sending a message or someone trying to trap him away from his diesel tank, we'll never know. But what we do know is this. Sean was sealed inside a van, alone, on a remote country road. And nobody knew he was there.
Tell you what, it's a good job I haven't got a bulkhead. There we go. Oh, it's miserable out here.
Gina runs an Alaskan van life channel, and she had a plan.
So the real reason I'm out this way is because I want to car camp at the abandoned Igloo Hotel right on this road. I've passed it several times, and for some reason I just thought it was a gas station or something that was actually in business.
She was headed to camp at an abandoned igloo hotel, vacant since the 1970s after its owner was mauled by a grizzly bear and suffered a catastrophic head injury. His dream died with that attack, and the building has sat empty ever since. But the entrance was barricaded, so Gina made a new plan. She'd spend the night at a Russian Orthodox cemetery in Anchorage. She wandered the grounds as darkness crept in, past spirit houses built to shelter the departed, past graves marked in a language most visitors can't read.
So this is a Russian Orthodox cemetery. I've never been to one of these before, but they have the coolest, I shouldn't be saying cool, I'm like surrounded by a bunch of dead people right now, and I'm saying their little tombstones are cool. Oh God.
She felt deeply unsettled, but she returned to her forerunner, locked the doors, and tried to rest.
You guys, I'm not making this up right now, but there's a light in front of the church, and when you walk past the light, it turns on. I know, because I walked over there 2 times to look at the cemetery. Now I'm in my car, and it's flicked on 2 times. It's not windy outside. It could be an animal, I guess. I did hear something in the bushes as well when I was looking at one of the tombstones.
Then the motion light came on. No one was there. No movement she could see.
I do not like how that light keeps turning on and off. I'll show you what I'm talking about. There's a light that lights up the front of the church. And there it goes. It's turned on twice since I've come back. What do you think it is, guys?
But the light kept triggering, again and again, through the night. A malfunctioning sensor? A swaying branch? An animal just out of frame? Gina couldn't explain it. She just knew she wasn't comfortable. The light activated at its most intense while Gina sat reading about spirit houses and the souls believed to linger near them.
You guys, I am actually getting kind of scared. I don't ever get scared of stuff like this, but what the heck? You guys, right as I started talking about spirits, the light turned on again.
She emerged just after 7 a.m. relieved. Quiet. Whatever was out there, she couldn't name it.
I didn't sleep terribly. It was actually a lot better than I thought. But, we still need to get the heck out of here.
In March 2024, British YouTuber Brendan met up with his friend Steve for a hiking and camping trip across the English countryside.
We're officially on the trail, on the hunt for this B-52 crash site. We don't exactly know the pinpoint location of where this is, and as Steve said before, many a people have come on this trail and failed to find it. But we're going to do our best, aren't we?
Well,
The morning was brutal, their van coated in ice, the hills steep and unforgiving. When Brendan started feeling unwell, the two split up. Steve pressed on. Brendan dropped back to the village to rest.
Me and Steve have had to part ways. I've had second thoughts on this, the reason being, we've been on this trail, we've had some pretty treacherous pieces of path, especially over that little hump there. I've completely soaked my feet are sodden wet. That one's okay.
By evening, they'd reunited, visited the famous Padlock Bridge.
About 90% of the bridge is made up of padlocks. Phil and Vicky. Let's read some names out, shall we? The Ushers, Joe and Irene.
That is compact, isn't it?
Yeah.
And driven out to Weaver Hills in Ashbourne, a quiet, peaceful spot to spend the night.
We're going to hit the road, head down to near Ashbourne, and go and have a quick look into the Weaver Hills. But look at that for a park up.
Or so they thought. Brendan knew locals weren't keen on van campers in the area, but the spot felt calm.
We've had a couple of tractors go by, and judging by a couple of reviews of this place, most of which are positive, may I add, apparently some of the locals aren't too happy about people parking here. For whatever reason, I don't know. But I can guarantee you it's probably something to do with rubbish, and that rubbish most probably has nothing to do with van lifers, but it is what it is.
Cars passed occasionally, nothing unusual. Then the same van drove by.
We've got a couple of cars rolling past from time to time, but nothing that's going to be concerning us too much. I think get the bed set up and get ready for bed, I think. And then we'll be off to go and explore more of the Peak District and other places in and around the Peak District.
And then again, Steve spotted a figure on the hill above them, someone watching from a distance.
Someone was just outside. Oh. You alright, mate?
Yeah. And there's a car. Did you have it as well?
Yeah.
Like a.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at you, mate. A car pissing about up there. It must have been.
Then a fire appeared on the hillside, and the van came back a third time before suddenly speeding away into the dark.
That scared the living daylights out of me.
Well, I just banged my roof. I did then.
Jesus. So what are they playing at up there then?
It's that light up there. It's
Just stalking us.
It's just, it's if it's sitting up there with the headlights on. I'm trying to figure out what I'm looking at. Are you?
Yeah, like whether it's a vehicle or not. Well, it's definitely a vehicle because I heard it.
Yeah, I heard it. It was a little like Ford Connect van.
Well, why is he just stood there or
That's what I'm trying
sat
to
there
work
like
out,
stalking?
mate. If you look here, if you stand here, right, you can just see one line. If I move to the, it looks like there's two.
Honestly, that noise.
Here he is. Here he is. Here he is.
That Land Rover.
Yeah.
No explanation, no confrontation, just that slow, creeping feeling that someone out there had taken an interest in them. The two retreated to their separate vans, uneasy but determined to sleep. They never found out who was watching, or why. 4 vans, 4 nights, 4 stories nobody saw coming. If this got under your skin, hit the like button and subscribe to Scare Tapes. There's plenty more where that came from. And drop a comment below. Which story disturbed you the most? Sleep tight.